It's called the Flag Australia Way. And it goes a little something like this. Well, I started again, right out here in the land, on a farm that was well kept by a man. Yeah, nice little farm out there in the hills of the Strath Valley. Peter was his name, growing food was his game, like the other farmers, you know, just doing the same, working real hard to feed the mouths of Australia. They had droughts and fires and floods abroad, but nothing ever stopped them. They just farmed some more. It was their heritage, handed down by generations. But there came a day when things were going to change, with this environmental board the government had arranged. Some blokes had called themselves the NRMB. And they came with laws and fines and more, and restrictions and rules they said had not been ignored, and they were fair dinkum from the government. So Peter went along to an NRMB meeting to meet some of these blokes, you know, give them a greet, find out what they're up to. And this is what they said.
Well, welcome farmers to the NRMB meeting. You can all sit down to hear the words that we speak, and if you've got any questions, best you ask them after the show. See, we're going to take control of your freehold land, and we've got plenty of legislation in our hands, so yeah, we're going to tell you how to do your job. We're going to fence up your rivers and your creeks and your dams and put water meters all the way through your land, and by the way, it'll be at your cost as well. See, we don't want the wildlife to go and have a drink, so the fence it all offers for the best, we think. And any water you do use, they're going to charge you. You see, the Crown owns the water that falls from the sky, and although you capture it, it's still mine. So yeah, we'll make you pay for every drop. And if you don't comply, we're going to sting you with a fine of $35,000, but soon that'll climb to $700,000, possibly $2.2 million.
Well, Peter stood up and he said, mate, one thing. If you guys are owning water, you're making me think that we should charge you to store it. See, we own all our dams and our tanks, you see, and it really only seems to make sense to me that you guys pay for us to store it. And it was on this day a new group was formed. The Food Producers Landowners Action Group was formed. You know the one, Flag Australia. And this is what they said, boys. Oh, Mr. NRMB, if you could only stop and see your draconian laws and the things you stand for are crazy. And we've had enough, so now it's time we'll have our say. And we're doing things the Flag Australia way. Well, it didn't take long for most people to see. These laws coming through, mate, they were crazy. They were nuts. And most of them didn't make any sense. Yeah, Peter gained support from the community. You know, average people, like you and me. And they subscribed to Flag, and they helped them on their way. Yeah, Flag Australia, mate, they really got around. From the outback and all the way down through town and fair dinkum. Even overseas. To Lord Christopher Monckton, all the way from London, down from the UK. He said there's a United Nations agenda, Peter, being formed in the world today. And Professor David Flint, mate, he said what he thinks, no matter what the reaction. He said, politicians on a daily basis must be accountable for their actions. National Aboriginal Solutions had a pretty strong movement. They're a fair dinkum bunch of folk. They said, yeah, Peter, mate, you boys speaking some truth. We'll come and help you out there, bloke. And Pauline Hanson, she had some words to say. She reckoned most of these laws are totally insane. So she stood before the government with both her arms folded and said, please explain. Oh, Mr. NRMB, if you could only stop and see your draconian laws and the things you stand for are nothing short of crazy. Yeah, we have had enough, and now it's time we'll have our say. And we're doing things the Flag Australia way. One more bit just at the end here. Piece this one together. Well, the moral of the story, the lesson really is that we ain't got to tell no lies or fibs. Tell the truth, eh? Honesty's the best policy. And if we keep selling everything overseas, there's not going to be anything left for you and me. And nothing left for our kids either. And if this Agenda 21 stuff is really true, we should start talking about it, don't you think? Let everyone know what they're up to. Instead of keeping it a secret. Tell your mother and your brother and your sister and your cousins and your aunties and your uncles too that the best way to research Agenda 21 is to type it into YouTube. That's Agenda 21, everyone. Type that in. That's what these pricks are trying to do to us. I reckon we can stop. We can start with the NRM, mate. Oh, Mr. NRMB, if you could only stop and see your draconian laws and the things you stand for are crazy. And we've had enough, so now it's time we'll have our say. And we're doing things the Flag Australia way. Alright, how many singers we got out here tonight? Peter, can you sing, mate? What about 4 words? You reckon you can string 4 words together there, Professor David Flint? Yeah? The Flag Australia way? Pauline Hanson? And sing? Alright, I want to get the whole crowd out here to sing 4 words for me. The Flag Australia way. Alright? And I'm not getting off this stage until I hear those vocal cords crank. So here we go. I'm going to pause the song at the end. I want everyone in this room to yell out the Flag Australia way. Alright? And I'm pretty sure you'll stuff it up the first time. But that's alright. Okay, here we go. Oh, Mr. NRMB, if you could only stop and see your draconian laws and the things you stand for are crazy. And we have had enough, so now it's time we'll have our say. And we're doing things. Oh, that was pretty good. What do you reckon, Trevor? Is that alright? In time? I reckon we can do one more, Peter. What do you reckon, bro? Alright, this one is going to be right on time. We're all going to do it as a united voice, because that's what we are in this room, people. A room full of strong-minded people who are going to fight for our country. We're not just going to lay down and let it take away all the hard work we put in. So here we go. Flag Australia way, guys. Here we go. Oh, Mr. NRMB, if you could only stop and see your draconian laws and the things you stand for are crazy. And we have had enough, so now it's time we'll have our say. And we're doing things of... Yeah! Had enough, so now it's time we'll have our say. And we're doing things of... Yeah! Well done, well done.